Yeah, day is Sunday, January 4th, about 12:30 in the afternoon. Since it started, I've been watching the Venezuela Maduro situation. Left-leaning folks are crying that it's a crime to forcibly remove the president of another country. And it's been established by pretty much anybody who looked into it that he is not the duly elected president of Venezuela. There was so much election fraud going on, he stole the election. I believe the lady who was actually the duly elected president and then forced into exile received a Nobel Peace Prize. So, Maduro's in custody along with his wife in New York City for basically narcotic crimes. He had turned Venezuela into a narco state. It was a major pathway for cocaine and fentanyl into the United States. Street drugs are killing 300,000 Americans a year. The deadliest war in U.S. history was our Civil War, and during the entirety of the war it killed 600,000 Americans. So street drug use is killing half that number every year. Civil War lasted approximately 4 years, and in 4 years street drug use will kill 1.2 million Americans. You'd think decent Americans would have a problem with that. I do. But since Trump initiated the action, obviously it's bad. As to be seen. I think the president of Mexico should take note. There are too many drug cartels in Mexico to count, and they're importing illicit drugs into the United States as well. President Trump has already demonstrated he has no patience for that. So Mexico might want to clean up their act. And then you ask the Mexicans, they say, well, if it wasn't for the Americans' desire for street drugs, there wouldn't be a market. Well, could be true. But if we cut out the supply, it should cut out some of the usage. Some folks are going to use dope no matter what. It is what it is. Something needs to be done. 300,000 Americans dying a year from overdoses of street drugs. That's just shameful. And the dope peddlers don't care. They lose one customer because of an overdose. They'll pick up 5 more because the other 5 think they're getting really good dope. So, but people will ask, do I support the actions of President Trump? Blowing up the cartel drug running boats, sharks got to eat too. Going down and arresting Maduro and his wife. I think Maduro effed around and found out. It would have been easier send in a missile and blow his dumb ass up. But they decided to go in and apprehend him and haul him out in handcuffs. I think they cut him a break. President Trump wants Venezuela to have self-determination as long as it does not continue to be a narco state. I don't have a problem with that either. The ruling class that has made billions of dollars via dope might want to rethink their position on that. So anyway, I do hope that the actions of President Trump will help curtail the influx of illicit drugs into the United States. It's a real problem. Too many Americans are dying. So that's all for this one. Thank you.